Welcome back to another episode of the podcast. We're so excited to have you. It's Rachel.
And Emily.
And we're here to talk all things community today. Why you need it, to bust the myths of why you think you might not. We're here to bring you truths and like to bust the lies. And we're so excited because like we said in the last episode, this is the hill that we will die on. Mm-hmm. Like it is what has brought us life. It is what has brought us help. It is what has brought us all the things that we're going to dive into today. So I'm so excited. And I feel like Emily and I both, I've kind of like seen our personal life as well as our professional life and have seen the fruit of the labor that we've put in at getting good at this skill of community and people. So I'm so excited. So excited. We're going to make the case for community so that you can see the value of community in your own life.
Yeah. I'm Emily.
And I'm Rachel. And this is the Rowlett Podcast. Okay, I have a fun question to start out with. Okay. Did you ever have a point in your life where you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so lonely. I need help. Who's going to help me? It could have been like an emergent situation or just like a mundane, like, I'm so lonely. Did you ever have one of those?
Is that a fun question?
Okay, yeah. So no, actually, it turns out
I'm kidding.
I'm gonna go to the abyss. Okay, no, my Enneagram wings 4.
100%. Like I think that if we're talking like personally, we moved my senior year of high school across the country, and I literally only had my family. And I don't know about you, but as a teenage girl, I was like,
unreal.
I want my friends. I don't want my family, and that was a really hard experience. And it wasn't until I got plugged into a local church community that I found my people, found my husband there that year. Actually, also.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Which is wild. But anyways, and if I'm thinking like in business, I would say whenever I decided to leave teaching full time and stay home with small babies, I was like, how am I going to do this? What am I doing?
Let's talk about that.
What?
Like the motherhood loneliness.
There's nothing like it. For better and for worse.
I was about to say, and for richer or for poor.
Yes.
Like it's just tough. And I think why? Perhaps it's just because it's new. Like we don't know it yet.
Yeah.
But we feel like we should know it, but we don't.
Yeah.
I feel like that translates into a lot of threads, specifically in womanhood.
Well, and you're also grieving like stages of life that have like come and gone. You know, like whenever you become a mom, sure, you have 9 months to make a baby for a reason. The Lord equips us during that time. Mm-hmm. But then after that, you know, you're there home with a newborn. Maybe you have single friends or maybe you have married friends that don't have kids yet. And you're sitting there and you're like, literally like nothing is relatable. I remember walking around stores and if I didn't have my baby with me, and I'd be like, nobody knows what just happened to me.
Right.
Like nobody knows that I'm like an hour away from needing to be home in time to like feed or like pump on the way home or like, you know, and so like I feel like business is a lot like that too.
Yeah.
We walk around the grocery store, we like go to dinner with our girlfriends and they're like, oh, like how's your like little business, your little business, and you're like, actually
I'm popping off, but I'm
like,
not going to say anything.
How much do you really want to know? Like, how much do you really want to know? Because, like, I could be talking business for hours at this point. Or, like, do you care? And then it's like, there's certain friends in your life, like, they can be the best friend on the personal side of things. But, like, they don't need to hold your professional weight with you, too, you know? Or they can't, or they don't get it.
And I think that, like, friends mean well.
They do.
And it's so genuine.
Yeah.
But it's more polite than it is curious.
Right.
Somebody's like, they're more like, I'm asking you this because I'm supposed to, because I'm your friend and I love you.
Yeah.
Not because I'm actually going to follow the trail.
Right. Or like you go down the trail and they're like,
cool. Yeah. Like from Madagascar, the penguins are like, smile and wave, boys.
Literally.
Smile and wave. Yes.
That's good.
Okay.
What about you?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So many lonely moments. I wrote a whole chapter on it.
Yeah.
I found myself very lonely. Oh, in a lot of seasons similar to you. We moved a lot in my adulthood life. So not teenage, but adult. Because my husband's in the military. Yeah. So, like, we had to start over, fresh, literal village community, new grocery store, new neighborhood, new walking route, like, so many different times. Yeah. And then you throw in kids in there, too. And you're like, who am I, actually? And, like, what do I actually want? It was wild. Found myself there in business, too, where I was like, okay, is anybody out there, right? Like, I felt like Tom Hanks in Castaway. Wilson! I was like, I feel like I'm on a little island. I'm trying to figure this out, which is why I ended up hiring you.
Well,
mainly.
Hilarious. And what did you literally say? You literally said this like a couple weeks ago. You were like, I wouldn't have hired you if Rowlett had existed. You literally said that. You were
because I was like, I think I needed help with my company, but more than that, I needed company itself. And
that's a word.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I was like, I need camaraderie, company, someone to do this with me, someone to laugh at things that are laughable. Someone to
Yeah.
like cry with me and be upset when you get a weird email or a weird phone call. Like I needed that person in my life, and I didn't have it at the time because I felt like I was like bushwhacking my way towards
Right.
something.
Yeah.
And what I didn't know and what I know now is that there are other women that are creating their own paths, pioneering their own ways too. Forget if you look up and you look to the left and the right, you're like, oh my gosh, we're doing it.
Yeah.
Like, do you want to combine efforts?
Yeah.
You know, and it makes it easier.
Sweet.
Why do you think that women specifically, but just business owners in general,
Okay.
feel lonely? Like, what is it? Like, what's the anecdote and what is like the kryptonite?
Well, I think that the kryptonite is comparison.
100%. Love
The
that you said
kryptonite
that.
is comparison. And getting caught up in what everyone else is doing or somebody who's ahead of you, and you're so worried about what they're doing or what somebody would think of you, your auntie on it, like following you on Instagram, like watching you go for it and be like, she's so dumb at the Thanksgiving dinner, that it stops us from doing things. It really does. Or she's doing it better than me, or that idea is already taken. And then we just sit there frozen. And this happens like whenever you're already successful in business too, not even whenever you're just starting out. And so there's always going to be something that you're playing the comparison game with. And it takes daily being like, no, like God knows who I am. The Lord knows the plans for this business. And like, I am going to show up.
Yeah.
And my race is the only one that matters.
Yes. I mean, that is like literally in my mind, what's coming to mind is scripture, John chapter 10, verse 10, which is the thief comes, like the enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy. But Jesus has come to give us hope and he's overcome the world, like, and to give us life and a life to the full. Like we have all these promises. We have the hope of heaven, like who Jesus is, what he did for us, that frees us up to experience these things that otherwise the enemy of our souls is trying to keep us back from. And so, yeah, like the comparison, they're like, she's already done it, or it's already been done, or she's doing it better, or I don't know how well I can actually like do this right now, I think could potentially also be like that tension in our souls of like, okay, I have this desire, I have this calling, I know she's good for it, but like she's also doing it too. And maybe if I said this out loud, I might scare someone. I might embarrass myself if I don't succeed.
Right.
And so then you're like, well, I'm actually not going to tell anybody, which
Right.
keeps you alone and out of community.
And that's exactly what the devil would want.
Oh yeah.
Exactly.
He's like,
what Satan would want.
scoreboard.
Yeah, one for me. But let me tell you how to fix it.
Yeah, please do.
Okay, the anecdote.
Yeah, what's
like
the
you asked
anecdote?
about. The anecdote is confessing that, like getting straight up about it, and then getting into community. So much. And you know this, like if you go to church, or if you're plugged in with a church, or if you've been a part of youth groups or small group or whatever, it's so important to be a part of a local body because of community. And why does this not transfer to people's businesses? I don't know, but we're on a mission to fix it.
Yes, we are.
We're on a mission to fix it.
People think community is zip code.
Oh, yeah.
They think community is neighborhood.
Neighbor.
Community is church.
Yeah.
And it is.
It is.
And it's like,
But like,
a
what is
dog, like a Brittany Spaniel, which is the dog we have. A golden retriever. Let's go there.
Okay.
A golden retriever is a dog, but not all dogs are golden retrievers. So it's like a church is a community, but not all communities have to be churches.
Right.
And so there's this like, I think we have to like do a little bit of undoing of like what community is. And yeah, community, it's just so much more than I think what we've been sold. I think community is friendship, and it is
Yes.
available, and it's also a skill. It's a muscle that you have to flex. It's not just a group of people. Like you have to get good at doing it, and that only comes with practice.
Well, and what have we seen in the business space too? Like people sign up for these programs to like teach them a certain skill, and they're amazing, and we're a part of several of those. And then they end these programs, and they're like, what do I do? Like, I'm not with like these, I met people through here. Like, we're all about to go our separate ways. Like, I don't need to reinvest in this skill again. And like, what's going to happen? And whenever we created Rally, we were like, is this weird that we're not like teaching a certain specific skill? And then it's like, no, we are in some ways of like the skill of peopling as an entrepreneur. And I mean, truly, that's what makes the magic of the online community work. And even whenever we get together in person with people, because it fills that gap of feeling like you're alone, feeling like nobody gets it, feeling like it honestly heals the comparison, I think, a lot too, because you get in there and everyone's so nice, so generous. And I mean, everyone needs to be a part of something like that.
Well, and too, like if you're afraid of the dark, like what's the best way to become unafraid of the dark? It's like to go on a walk in the dark. Like the only way for me and Emily to like prove to you that like community is worth it and that it is beautiful and that they're not all mean girls and there are generous women that want to cheer you on, that want to support you, that will comment and like on your things and buy your services and goods.
Right.
It's to like surround yourself with women to give them a shot to do it, you know? So we just wanted to give you a space to do that through Allie. Okay, let's talk about something that I feel like, because you mentioned this a little bit, like being in a group of women after a course or a mastermind group or something like that. And then you get put into this room, which is beautiful. It brings up the question of what's the difference between networking and community? Because in our minds, I know they're very different. So like, let's set the tone.
Well, I'm curious what like you as a listener would say too. Like when you say networking and community is the same, we would say and make the case that it's different. So community in my brain is a space where you're seen, you're known, and you're valued.
Let's go.
Right?
Yep.
And everyone has that mutual, like we are all bonding together on this same value of, like for Rowlett, it's Christian female entrepreneurs. Networking is great. It's amazing. And in my opinion, networking is meeting other people in similar or different industries than you to be able to utilize that person for a skill or a service later in the future. Or maybe immediately right now.
Yeah. It's like to further where you're at.
To further where you're at right now.
Yeah.
And like when I say use other people, I don't mean it in a bad way. I just mean like that person is going to help you with some aspect of whatever's next.
Yeah, they're a tool.
Yeah, they're a Rolodex. Like they're getting added to the Rolodex. Like I have somebody I can pull out of my pocket whenever I need blank.
Right. Versus having, like someone who's just like constantly there no matter what. Like there's people I have in my network who I call up that are also podcasters, right? Or like also authors. And I'm like, hey, what do we do about this? Right?
Yeah.
But I'm not like, oh, send me a picture of your kids.
Yes.
And there's like a difference between them. And like, if I saw them out in public, I'd still give them a hug. And I'm so excited to see them. And I do care about their life and their kids beyond. We just haven't crossed the zone. So yeah, there is. And it's okay that maybe some people are compartmentalized in one or another. And there's some people in my community that I'm like, I love you, mean it.
Yeah.
You have nothing to add to my business.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Right.
And I love you anyways.
Right.
Right. And then there's some people that, I'm like, you have a lot to add to my business, but I don't see us being personal BFFs and getting margaritas. So
That's good. So where do we meet people in this?
We as in Emily and Rachel, or we as in Rowlett members?
Both and.
Both and?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll speak personally. I think it's like fun to make connections and networking because there are going to be sticky situations and pickles that you find yourself in when growth actually happens. That you're like, I really need an expert or an individual who's been there, done that, big sister energy who can like help me, coach me, or at least like hold my shoulders and point me in the right direction, right? There's other moments where I am crying on my front porch, screaming children behind the door. And I'm like, you know what I don't need right now? A coach. You know what I do need right now? A friend.
Yeah.
And so I've seen that in a lot of ways. And some people play both roles for me, and then most people don't. And I think that that's okay too.
Yeah. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's
What about you?
As in?
Yeah. Like, how have you seen the difference of both playing out in your life?
I think that from my marketing business, networking, 100%.
Yeah.
Somebody knowing somebody or meeting someone
Referrals,
somewhere,
totally.
like a referral.
Totally.
Solely grown by word of mouth. My little team that works for me, they're like, you need to post to Instagram. And I'm like, we are full behind the scenes. Like, I don't have time to post to Instagram, which is amazing. You know, I've grown this full-time business very behind the scenes.
Like grassroots. Yeah.
Because of who I've made connections with over the years.
Yeah.
Which is incredible. And I wouldn't have had that had I never honestly stepped out in faith to seek community first, though.
That's so good.
You know?
Girl,
like
you were like, did you know my questions?
No. It's like the chicken or the egg.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you need both.
Yes.
You need both.
Well, I think we can answer this too because we have done this without community.
Yes.
And now we have done this with community.
Right.
So we can speak to the both. Like I have been Rachel version 1 and Rachel version now 2. And I want you to help me answer this question, but what would happen to our listeners' business if she did not build a support system / community? Okay, assuming that we're all high achieving, go-getters. In my mind, I'm like, I don't have time to do that. Make more friends. You're asking me to make more friends. Do you even know what my calendar looks like? You know, like, I don't have time for this. And I'd say, and you'd agree, you don't not have time to do this. Like, this is critical. This is required. This is necessary.
Yeah.
So with that being said, like, what's at stake? Like, what could happen if you didn't build? Like, let's draw up a real life scenario, which I know we both have.
Yeah.
That maybe like community really does kick into gear, and then the threat of not having it could also be not a cute place to be.
Yeah. I think that whenever I've leaned heavily into community and into running the race alongside other business owners, and it's accountability.
Yep.
So like I'm more productive. Like, okay, in Raleigh, we just did like a 4-week walking challenge. I told Rachel, I was like, I lost some pounds on that walking challenge. And you know what? I would voice memo her at like 10 at night being like, great idea, while I'm out getting my stupid stuff.
She was bitter.
I was like a little bit bitter about this step challenge, but you know what? I kept showing up.
Breakthrough. That's
I
right.
kept showing up, and I had really good ideas on those walks, and I knew that I had other like 20 other Rally members doing this with me.
Yep.
And so anyway, accountability. Like that was like a personal health challenge that we did, but like accountability to get the things done.
Yep.
And also to go so much farther and like push myself of like, okay, I said this thing out loud, and I know that whenever I see this person next, they're going to ask me, you know, what,
they're going to hold me to
how's the
it.
thing going? They're going to hold me to the standard. So what's at stake if you don't have community? I mean, you are setting yourself up for burnout. I believe you're setting yourself up for being in isolation, and that's where you get devoured by your own thoughts a lot of times.
I was about to say your own self. Yeah.
Apathy can set in of like, I don't have to do this today, especially if you own your own business that runs fully out of your house. You're like, I'm tired. I'm done. I'm whatever. And so, I mean, it goes back to like why you need community. You have the accountability.
Yeah.
And you also just have people to lean on. Like, I think whenever we get in our own heads and we start like strong arming and holding things so close. Like I heard on the Walk in Love podcast, which is one of my favorite like personal podcasts, but TJ and Brooke, the host of that podcast, they have a saying that's like, don't grip it too lightly, but don't hold it. No, don't grip it too tightly, but don't hold it too lightly.
That's good.
And so like whenever we rely on ourselves and like we go back in our own, like, I don't need other people. Like nobody gets it, all of that. We're gripping things too tightly.
Yeah.
But whenever we are with other people, we're able to hold these things and not take them lightly. Totally. But it allows us to like open our hands a little bit. And like what happens when we open our hands? Like what does God do?
Yeah. He puts beautiful things in them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. And he also takes things away.
Yeah.
But he knows what's best for us. He keeps no good things from us. So if we open our hands, we start to see those good things actually happen, which is so cool. Whether we knew they were going to happen or not, but just good things.
Yeah.
Yeah. It makes me think too of like, I mean, this idea of I'd rather be on offense than defense. Yes. So it's not like if hard things in your business happen or if hard things happen in your life. It's when the weird email comes to your inbox, when you get the phone call that is probably going to devastate you. When
your biggest client drops.
Yeah. Like, when you have the conversation that ends in tears. Like, not if, it's just naturally when we're humans working with humans, that's just going to get a little rowdy.
Yeah.
So the question then is, okay, well then, what are you doing to prepare yourself knowing that that is actually in the future? When is the best time to prepare for whatever's at stake? My friend Davey Blackburn says, yesterday. Yeah. Like, yesterday is the best day to do this, not when it happens.
Yeah.
And so community is one of those things. You build it now,
so
anticipating that hard things are going to happen that they will be able to help you come through on, versus waiting till the hard things happen and then like trying to figure out all your puzzle pieces.
Yes, well, because you might be in a really great spot right now where you're able to contribute and to plug in and engage in all these things. And then there's also going to come a point where it turns 180 and you're like, I need to be on the receiving end of some encouragement or some like practical help of like this launch was supposed to be my thing and it wasn't.
Right.
And how do I hold the tension? And we've even walked through that with some of our members this year. Like I thought this was going to be my thing. And like, it's not working out.
I'm a little
like,
disappointed.
What do I do?
Yep.
How do I move on so that I can make money and also like for my personal self? Like, how do I not take this as a blow?
Yeah, it's beautiful. You need it. There's a lot at stake if you try to convince yourself you don't. And we just love people too much to allow them to believe that they could do this on their own.
Right.
Because love you, mean it, respectfully, you can't.
Yeah, you can't do it alone. And you weren't meant to do it alone.
It's not fun to do it alone either.
You weren't meant to do it alone.
Listen. This has been like, we will preach this until Jesus calls you back home.
Rachel and I, this is actually like fun business. Like Rachel and I years have talked about, or maybe, I don't know if I started it. I think I started this. I'd be like, is this the hill you're going to die on?
Oh,
you know, like whenever we like get into it of like going back and forth of like something really little.
Someone has to compromise.
Yeah,
who's folding
someone
first?
has to compromise, right? And so I'll be like our shared language is like, and even in my marriage and things like that, it's like, is this the hill you're going to die on?
And I'm like,
and if it is,
absolutely.
and if it is, like, what's a hill Rachel will die on? Probably like
me doing my own graphics.
Yeah. Oh my. Listen. Listen. Okay. So yeah. So like, for example, Rachel's like, I want you to help with graphics. And I would do graphics. And then she'd like tweak something so tiny every time.
It really did make a difference. I swear.
I literally would be like, okay, like, do you just want to do it?
I was like, actually,
so
yes.
Eventually, like, I had to like work up courage to like feel like I could ask her that. But I really, one time I was like, okay, like, well, do you just want to do it? And she's like, honestly, yeah. I'm like, is that the hill you're going to die on? And she's like yes. And I mean, it's like we've talked about in business too. Like if you want to if you love your business and you love sweeping the floors, then you sweep the floors.
Yeah, you don't have to hire a custodian just because you're big and fancy.
Right.
You could do it.
Yeah, you feel like you should because everyone else is doing it. Like you can like stick to the things that you love and like pass off. It
brings you life.
So that's so funny. But like, is that the hill that you're going to die on?
And community is that, okay?
Oh yeah, so community is our hill. Community is our hill is that you need community in business to make it for the long haul. Right. You can make, I would argue, you can make 6 figures easily
and still hate it
and also by being alone. But at some point you're going to reach this ceiling where you're like, how am I going to get out of this ceiling? And like I am telling you, it is with the power of people. The power of people, and not even anybody, the right people. So good.
We have a whole community that is all about this. It is, like I said, like we said, the hill we die on, so much so that we create a whole community for you called Rally. It is all online. You could listen to the last episode, which is our story about how we built it, why we built it, and how you can actually be a part of it. And it's an open invitation for you if you are a female Christian entrepreneur who is looking for the growth we're talking about, who sees the value in stepping into something bigger than her and the power of people. That's available for you, and we'd love for you to go and check it out on Instagram at Let's Rally Together or letsrallytogether.com.
Yeah, there's going to be a link in the show notes somewhere too.
Just drop below in the episode description. We have all the stuff for you. All the goods.
Good. Well,
Yay.
if you loved this episode, we would love to hear from you. If you could leave a 5-star review, tell us what you loved, maybe a standout moment, maybe share this with a friend. This is just a fun way for us to connect with you and make the case that community is needed in business, and we're going to share what we're loving, what we're learning along the way, and we can't wait to come back.
Yay. So let's go farther together.